and I'm here with John from Honu Enterprises to talk about their farm and our How Do You Weed campaign. John, I'd like to introduce you. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and Honu?
Yeah, my name is John Bohannon. Combined, we have about 35 years of growing experience. We're a full family business. So it's both my brothers, my mom and dad, and our first two employees is a husband and wife. We come from a long background of charity and giving back to the community, and that's kind of what the basis of Honu is. Honu means Hawaiian for sea turtle, and sea turtles stand for peace and longevity, and that's what we hope to represent in the industry.
Nice, I really like that. So how did you all get into the marijuana business since it's a family operation?
Well, we're all from Fortune 500 and 100 companies, and when the dot-com boom came back in the 2000s, we all jumped into it too late and lost a bunch of money. And so now our goal was something that we saw was maybe a tangible dot-com boom. So we took a trip to Hawaii, the family, and at the beach in Hawaii, we sat and talked, we really want to do something like this. Being that it's very risky, both federally and state, and risky with just the public in general. So we decided to go ahead and take a leap into it. We had grown marijuana back in high school over 20 years ago, and hadn't really dabbled in a whole lot since. So about 4 years ago, we decided to get into it and really decided to make this a goal, and could we build a company out of it.
Wow, that's cool. You guys went like as a family. I don't know, it's kind of interesting.
11 days.
Really?
Yeah, we went to Hawaii for 11 days.
What part of Hawaii?
2 islands. We went to the Big Island, and then we were on Big Blue Island? Kauai, sorry.
Kauai. So we've noticed that a lot of the I-502 growers have something kind of distinguishes their farm from other ones. There's some sort of unique traits. What would you say it is for Honu?
So Honu is really about the environment. We do not give our plants any more than what they need, and we recycle everything that we can, including water from our dehumidifiers and our air conditioners. Right now, we're currently recycling greater than 200 gallons of water a day that we're able to directly feed right back to the plant. The same with the root ball, same with the soils. We really try and reuse as much as we can, sterilize and reuse anything that we can.
Wow, so a lot of sustainable growing methods.
It is sustainable. In fact, in the future, we hope to have enough solar on our roof to be net zero in electricity.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Net zero.
Yeah, so right now, the largest expense with an indoor grower is the fact that you have to run high pressure sodium lights, which is very expensive to run, and where the outdoor growers have the natural sunshine. So our goal is to put solar panels on our roof to spin the meter backwards during the daytime, and then at nighttime when most of our lights are on, we're net zero by the time you equal out. That's our goal.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so as a business owner in this marijuana industry, how do you feel about Washington legalization since you've done it 20 years ahead of that, and like now you guys have in the last 4 years? I mean, do you consider I-502 to have some triumphs or challenges?
Definitely. I think there were some big mistakes in how the program went forward. The goal was to really get a bunch of growers up and growing, and then start working on retail stores, and I think it should have been done more simultaneously. The goal is to have 334 stores in the state, and I think today we're still only 140, which puts a big strain on a lot of growers that are out there and up and running. The price was extremely expensive in the beginning because there were no growers and all these stores were open. And some people even signed some agreements that they probably wish they wouldn't have at this point. Now that there's so many growers up and running, there's not enough stores, so the price has really plummeted. And the way that the tax structure is, it really hurts the grower, I believe, at this point the most.
I see. Well, yeah, okay, so let's see, what do you think can be done to switch this back, to get it back up and running properly?
Well, and I've heard this from the Liquor Control Board that their focus right now is more storefronts. To continue to get more storefronts open. Last I had spoke with our marijuana investigator, he was saying that they had a goal of 100 stores to get open by May, the end of May. So I know that it's not going to completely change, because if one store is selling, let's say 100 pounds a month, and you open another store next to it, they're not both going to be at 50. But they are going to be 70, 80, just depends on the loyalty and whatnot. Most people, I believe, are going to find something that's closer to their home. So having more stores open would definitely help.
Yeah, great. Okay, and now I have some fun questions.
Okay.
What are your favorite strains that you currently have in stock?
We have a lot. We have 73 strains.
Wow.
So, and of those, I've grown over 40 of them for a few years. So I'm very particular on indica, sativa, and/or hybrid on when I would smoke something like that. So, as far as sativas goes, Candy Kush is my favorite. With a Blue Mystic would be a real quick second. As far as indica goes, I love Great Babe. It's my favorite. It's always the one that we use for nighttime.
Yeah, it's kind of like a go-to
It's
staple.
very good couch lock, muscle relaxing, if anyone has problems sleeping. And then anything in between there as far as hybrids go during the daytime, we have a wide variety. So I always say that I have a couple that are my favorite, but then I forget how great something is when I do consume it again. Like we have Wonder Woman, which is something I've only grown a few times here and there, but every time I do grow it, it's amazing.
How do you determine, and this is something that a lot of our customers come in and ask, should they look for when trying to find good bud? Like what characteristics should they check out and like examine?
Well, I think smell is a very, very important feature. That shows your terpenes and whether or not the product was really cured right, whether it was flushed properly. And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is people migrate right to the THC level and not really focus on what does the rest of the flower have to offer. I have actually consumed product that was at 9% THC that locked me in the couch.
Right.
And so there are a lot of people who would not have bought or purchased a 9% THC product. However, if there's a CBD level and balance that goes along with that, you're really going to get a lot of effect from it. So just because it has the highest THC doesn't necessarily mean it's the highest quality product.
And is that true, as for testing the THC content? I mean, they don't test for a lot of the time the terpene content and all that, so people are kind of seeing just one part of the plant, right? I mean, what do you think about the actual testing and the lab testing?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think you're right in the aspect that you're not really testing for some of that. I think there is tests that could be done, but that terpene levels could be tested at this point in time. It's not part of the state requirement, and it's expensive enough to test the way it is right now. So I think that most growers or processors are not interested in adding another expense to their test. But you can be a good judge of that too. If there is a sniff jar available, you can sniff the product. If there's not, a lot of times you can tell by how dense, how crystallized a bud is, but that's not always the case.
I know, you cannot really tell sometimes.
Yeah, I've had ugly weed, which I call ugly weed before. This looks horrible, be some of the best stuff I've ever had.
It's true. We definitely try that store as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so fun question. What is your favorite stoner movie of all time?
Well, I would never pass up on a Cheech and Chong movie, but Pineapple Express would be my favorite.
Express.
Yeah.
All right. And because because Honu Enterprises is going to be part of our How Do You Weed contest, is there anything up and coming that you are excited to show people as they tour the farm?
Yeah, I think having someone see how grand something like this is would be very impressive. Coming from a medical grow background, seeing 45 plants grow at one time was always impressive to me too. And in that aspect, I used to get as much weight as I could per plant. And now I don't have to. Now I can grow a lot more plants. So I'm not necessarily focused on getting the highest yield per plant, or I can grow a lot more plants. So I think that that's something that is going to be very impressive.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really knows what a grand scale that tier 3 garden is. So
We're talking thousands of plants.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great. All right, well, thank you for coming in, John. This is an awesome talk. And if you would like to know more about Honu Enterprises, check out their website and check out our How Do You Weed contest on social media.